The shaman is a person who is able to transcend the dimensional confines of cultural existence.
What are the origins of human spirituality? Who were the original priests? What is shamanism, and why do shamans play such a critical role in human cultural development? These questions and more we will be exploring. Welcome to Shaman Vision.
What the shamans are doing, they are not consuming culture, they are generating it. And herein lies the point for us.
Shamanism refers to a variety of beliefs and practices that involve communication with the spirit world, usually through altered states of consciousness, such as trance or ecstasy. Shamans are known as the people who have the ability to access these states and use their powers for healing, divination, soul retrieval, art, education, and other purposes. The word shaman comes from the Tungus language of Siberia, where it means one who knows. Shamanism is not a single religion or doctrine, but rather a cross-cultural phenomenon that can be found in many different regions and cultures around the world. It is often associated with animism, the belief that everything in nature has a spirit or soul. Shamans are known as the original priests in our ancestors' tribal communities. The practice and concept of shamanism is so integral to the human condition that elements of its essence are still practiced today. Literal shamans still exist in the far corners of our world. Even in our modern society, shamans, or people with shamanic traits, still exert massive influence on the human collective. This is traditionally done through art, music, literature, film, philosophy, etc. Mystics of all religious traditions, specifically Sufi Muslims, are children directly connected to their shaman forefathers. Shamanism is believed to have originated among hunting and gathering communities. It is seen to have persisted in societies of higher civilization as well. This tradition is especially common amongst indigenous people of the Arctic, North America, Australia, and Africa, who have maintained their traditional cultures despite colonization and modernization, and is commonly viewed as humanity's first religious expression and practice, the mysteries of which are passed down generation to generation, father to son. In other cases, a youth with special characteristics will be selected to study under the master, learn the secrets, and eventually look after the tribe. Shamanism has also influenced other religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, Islam, and Christianity. Some modern movements such as Neo-Shamanism and Core Shamanism have adapted shamanic techniques for modern contexts. Shamans use various tools and techniques to enter trance states, such as drums, rattles, bells, chants, dances, costumes, masks, and psychoactive substances. They also have spirit helpers or allies that assist them in their journeys to the spirit world. Some of these helpers are animals or plants that have a special connection to the shaman. Shamanism is seen on every continent that humans inhabit, all utilizing in some form or fashion the same techniques mentioned above. It is fundamental for the shaman to alter their state of consciousness. In these altered states, they are able to connect to different sources of knowledge, information, and power, which they then take back to their communities. Through this practice, they're able to help guide, heal, protect, and teach their communities.
The shaman is a person who is able to transcend the dimensional confines of cultural existence. They know more than the people they serve. The people they serve are like children within the game of culture. Only the shaman knows that culture is a game. Everyone else takes it seriously. That's how he can do his magic.
Carl Jung was an extremely influential Swiss psychiatrist and psychotherapist who developed the groundbreaking concept of the collective unconscious and archetypes. He was also interested in the study of comparative religion, mythology, alchemy, and symbolism. He is credited as one of the pioneers of bringing the concepts of shamanism to the modern Western world. Jung had a concept of shamanism that was influenced by his own personal experiences of the unconscious, his encounters with various cultures and traditions, and his knowledge of psychology and history. Jung saw shamanism as a form of archaic spirituality that involved a direct contact with the sacred through altered states of consciousness. Jung also saw shamanism as the precursor of the individuation process, which is the psychological development of the self through the integration of the conscious and unconscious aspects of the personality. He considered shamanism as a way of achieving wholeness or health by being in balance with the sacred. Jung recognized that shamanism was not a single religion or doctrine, but rather a cross-cultural phenomenon that could be found in many different regions and cultures around the world, including the mysteries of ancient Egypt and Greece. Jung also used shamanic imagery and symbolism in his own work, such as the Red Book, which is a record of his visionary experiences during a period of psychological crisis. He depicted himself as a shaman who journeyed to the other world and encountered various archetypal figures and scenes. In this book, kept private until after his death, you read the strange musings of a man that tested the limits of his mental fortitude, exploring his own consciousness with great courage in hopes of mapping out his mind and attempting to shed some light on the corners of humanity's consciousness that is too often overlooked. Though his words, at times, seem like ramblings of a madman, his paintings and illustrations articulated his journey so well. The unsettling yet familiar imagery has always deeply resonated with me. In our sick and declining society, we once again instinctually turn back to shamanism. In an ever-increasing secular, corporatized, industrialized, pharmaceutically medicated, greed-driven, vainly motivated, technology-worshipping society, we see more and more people coming back home and returning to more humanistic and naturalistic ways to heal themselves, forgoing the society that made them sick and offered them nothing but another addicting script. We look back to the source. We look back to our roots. And we look back to solve our problems with the aid of the Most High and nature's tools and techniques. Thanks for watching. Peace.
He was looking straight at you through the eyes outside of culture, saying, what kind of a person are you? Are you a fool or are you a clever fellow? What is your measure? How much of the situation do you understand? How many levels are you simultaneously aware of at this moment? And, looking into the eyes of that sort of person, you either grow or turn away. You have not much choice. So what's happening with the shaman, I think, is he's a hands-on mathematician, a hands-on non-Euclidean geometer. The shaman enters into the quote-unquote chaos of the psychedelic experience and sees that it is not chaos. It is hyperspace.